Yo, this is RDX Films and we're here with Flo On the Go.
Turn it up, here we are.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Flo On the Go. I am super excited to be here with the fellas of RDX Films. They have an amazing seminar coming up this weekend, and I'm just excited to get into it. So please, fellas, let us know what's going on April 14th. Let's hop right into it.
Yeah, thank you for having us. You know, it's always a joy to come hang with you for a little bit. Yeah, April 14th, we're doing the Acting in the Industry seminar right here in DC at Trinity University. It's going to be at the O'Connor Auditorium over there. And yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. We got a lot of great panelists coming out. We're going to be talking about a lot of powerful information, giving people, you know, that really are interested in joining the industry and that want to work as actors on a professional level and consistently, because that's the key, you know, is getting in and then working consistently.
Right.
You know, so that's the goal, is just giving people as much as we can give them, you know, in that 1 day span. And you know, allowing people to then go out and take the necessary steps to push forth their dreams and push forth that career that they want.
I love it because a lot of this sounds like you're bridging the gap between people who don't know and people who are trying to know. So talk about your why. Why do you think it's so important to bring this to DC?
We really think it's important to bring this opportunity to DC because many people that are aspiring to become professional actors and actresses are not aware of the true paths towards success. Many of us have the desire, the natural talent, and everything else that we need, but you know, you don't have a realistic means of getting to your end goal. So we want to make sure and show people the ins and outs of the grind process, how to successfully audition, how to make yourself eligible for unions and guilds, and how to really take advantage of all that the established side of the industry does have to offer, while coupling that with the offerings of the independent side of the industry in the local areas.
Nice. So tell me, why do you guys feel like these particular panelists that you chose to be a part of this event can really give the people what they're looking for?
Well, we've got some great people, like I said, Sonia San, who's on the Shy right now, who's, you know, our Wire family. I grew up in the Wire world up in Baltimore, you know, so I've always watched Sonia, and you know, her skill set on screen, you know, and she's also transitioning into the directorial world. She just directed a documentary for HBO called Baltimore Rising, which came out not too long ago.
Dope.
And you know, she's one of those people that just, you know, has so many gems to give people, has so much information, and is so seasoned, you know, paired with people like Amwan Glover, who's another local. We know Amwan from all our favorite stuff.
AKA Big G, just in case y'all don't know who we're talking about.
Big G, for sure. Michael Rainey Jr., who plays Tariq on Power. He just had a movie come out actually yesterday called Amateur for Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very good movie actually. Just got a chance to check it out this morning before coming out.
You watched it without me?
Wow.
Yep. He missed it.
I thought that was like something we were gonna do, like research kind of study later.
Well, the subscription's only like what, $11.99 now, so we should all be good. You'd catch up.
All right.
But it was good though, definitely.
Okay. So let's talk about your backgrounds. Tell me about both of you. Let's start with Jelani. Tell the world about who you are, what you do, and why you think you're a great fit to be able to put on something like this.
Well, I'm an entertainment attorney. I'm based out of Maryland. I do have clients everywhere, to the extent that we don't have to go to court. But I have, through the vast experiences that I've had in my practice, really been exposed to both sides of the industry. That's been something that really showed me the other side of the process of really getting on and putting yourself on, really. And as I was previously a music producer and working with a lot of artists out here, you know, and there's a huge disconnect between people who are aspiring and those who have actually become successful. So that's one of the reasons that I do feel that I have a particular perch, and I'm speaking from a niche sort of perspective. But I do think, you know, outside of that, I think it's very important that everybody puts themselves in front of information and continues to educate themselves so that they can take advantage of everything that's there for them, take things into their own hands.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah, you know, I would also like to say Jelani is a filmmaker. Just made a film last year here in DC.
Congrats.
And you know, he's the side of things that gets it all done on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you need that.
We both knock out the creative stuff and work together with that. You know, he's also a tremendous writer, which I don't do. You know, coming from, surprisingly enough, coming from a family of writers, that's not my world. So it's awesome to have somebody like Jelani who is talented in that and seasoned in that world as well. But yeah, you know, this for us is important because we're just trying to, not just, but we're, you know, as we're all building a larger film community and want to bring more work here to DC, you know, it's important that we have people that are ready to go and that are seasoned and understand, you know, what's needed and what is asked of them to be able to play vast roles, you know, in type, roles that are out of their character type, and be able to really excel and perform at a level that allows us to keep work here in the DC area.
Right. So what's your, for those who don't know, what's your background in the film industry?
I grew up in film a little bit, film and TV. My father, George Pelicanis, is a writer, producer. Worked on The Wire. That was the first set I ever really experienced, along with some other films and things in the mix there. But really fell in love on set, you know, with the industry and with filmmaking. And have just been going since then. I worked on my first real legal show. I have to say legal because every other time I was just hanging out.
Okay.
But I went down to New Orleans and did Treme a couple years back, and since then I've been in New York working as an assistant director up there. And I also made a film last year here in DC, which was awesome. It's great to work at home.
Yes.
One of my, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. No, let's go. Keep going.
I was gonna say one of my, you know, and another reason that this is so important to us, you know, and we want to get this done here is because when we made films, both in our separate worlds last year, we had trouble in certain areas casting locally, you know, and for us that was both a problem, you know. Why should we have to go out of town to get talent, you know, when there's so many talented people here that just need, you know, that need to know to be able to have the credentials to work, you know, as a guild member or union member, or just be at a level professionally, just those small things that you learn along the way, you know, that get you to the top of your craft. So that was our thing, and you know, we really want to make sure that we can have people, like I said, you know, people that can do the thing at a top ranking level.
Right. So why do you, I mean, that's actually interesting that you say that. Why do you think there is that? Is it that people aren't coming out to actually to get casted for this, or is it that there's a skill set gap?
Well, there's actually, there's always a boon in terms of the amount of people that apply. I know I dealt with maybe about 1,000 applicants when I did my last casting, and that was coming from a place without having any prior projects that were actually done on that level. So I don't think that there's a lack of interest. I think, like Nick is saying, there's a lack of actual knowledge on how to move yourself from A to Z. People don't know really how to comport themselves, how to really carry themselves in order to make themselves eligible. For example, if you're trying to get a scholarship, you might need a certain score in the SAT, certain GPA to be considered. That's not, you know, your actual merits. That's just to be eligible. So we had the same situation here with acting, where people don't understand how to get paid work, how to properly audition, how to have the right format. If you're doing a self-tape, what needs to be involved? When you walk into an audition, are you going to slate, which is like telling them your name, information about yourself that's basic for their audition cards. You know, what are the basics that you need to do? Because in any industry that you're getting into, you got to understand the rhythm, the pacing, some of the lingo that needs to be used, the jargon that goes into it, so that you have the look as well as the substance. You know?
Makes sense. What do you guys think is the biggest misconception in the acting industry?
It's not overnight.
Okay.
You know, nothing is really easy or simple.
That's what it is. Definitely. You know, it's not a, people think film and they think the Hollywood life, you know, and it's not always, as I'm sure some of these actors will tell you, it's not always glamorous, and sometimes you're in the mud and it's raining and it's cold and it's 4 in the morning and you've been shooting for 12 hours already, you know, so, and then you got to turn around and do it again tomorrow.
So you got to love it.
Yeah, you really do.
I think that's interesting. I think a lot of times we might hear about artists and their struggles and what they go through, but we don't really hear about what you just said, which is like you're filming for 12 hours, you have to get back up and do it again. And, you know, so that's awesome that you're able to bring that insight. What are some things that people can look forward to for the acting in the industry on the 14th?
There'll really be a number of great opportunities. We're going to have an opening with our peak performance motivational speaker Ron Mitchell. He's going to come in and start everything up, get everybody focused, and help them to kind of understand how they can motivate themselves off of their own desire. Also, outside of that, as Nick mentioned, we'll have Sonia San from The Chi, Michael Rainey Jr. from Power, and Amateurs, which just came out on Netflix. We also have Winsome Sinclair, who did the casting for All Eyes on Me, Belly, Dead Presidents, Waiting to Exhale, maybe another 50 films.
All of the Spike Lee films from back in the day that we all
the
love, the classics. Yeah, Winsome is a rock star. I've said already that, and you know, it's no slight to anyone else, but that's who I'm most excited to meet on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, she has a very long arsenal of films in her repertoire. So.
And it'll be of particular interest for those participants who are directly focused in getting on screen, because she is a very prominent, prolific casting director. So we have her there as well. We also have a number of other panelists that are of great interest. Tracy Baker Simmons, who did much of the work on Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston for all their reality shows, and the Bobby Christina biopic that came out last year. She'll be there as well, speaking from the producer side and from the casting side. And we'll also have just opportunities for people to network and to talk to the actual producers and actors that will be there. So you'll get the opportunity to take the information that we give you, for example, with auditioning etiquette, and go and apply that, you know, and apply the information that we give you with talking to industry professionals, so that you can kind of try to navigate the waters that are in front of you and figure out your best path. Because a lot of times you're going to have to create your own opportunity and make your own way. So it's not undoable, but you just have to understand what steps are in between you and your goal.
I mean, this sounds like a no-brainer. I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait to be there. If you want to be any kind of involved in the acting industry, it just sounds like a no-brainer. You have to be there April 14th. It makes sense. Please tell people how they can find tickets and get more information about being, a guest for the seminar.
You can visit www.rdxfilms.com. That's films with an S on the end. Don't forget the S, because I always do. Or you can check out either one of our Instagram pages. We have an Eventbrite link up there. Ross Pelly is my handle. RDX Films is the page, the event page, the Instagram page. So the links are there as well. RDX Films DC, correct?
Yeah.
That's the Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so we got them there, and we're gonna be running around with some physical tickets as well.
Okay.
You know, so if you see us running around the city, you know, stop us and say, hey, what's up? You got some tickets left? And we'll probably have a ticket for you.
Okay.
Make something happen.
And for all of our students, there are special student rates. Tickets are available for $20 online, as well as early bird specials online as well. So check us out at rdxfilms.com.
Dope. So I always ask everyone who's on my show this question, and I'll start with Nick first, and then Jelani, you can answer second. What is your why that keeps you going? You said you're a director, you do a lot of things in film, and like you said, it can be long hours, and sometimes it may not be easy to get up and do what you do and do what you love. What consistently makes you focus and keeps you grounded, like I have to keep moving regardless of whatever happens?
Yeah, my why is definitely the passion for what we can do with our platform in film. You know, a lot of times we say on set, we're not performing brain surgery. It's not rocket science. You know, it's not rocket science. It's not, you know, and it's not brain surgery, for sure. But you do have the ability to change someone's perspective about certain things, or open their mind, open their eyes to certain things that they've never seen before, never thought about, you know. So you do have the ability to tell stories that can, you know, help change the way people think or way people feel about certain things, you know. So for the film, you know, film industry in general, that's definitely my why, you know, and just loving the craft of creating art, you know, and having these visual stories that, you know, from ancient times, we have always passed down stories verbally, you know, through our genius of, you know, creating, we've been able to now make these stories visual and sustain it so that we can keep them for however long the technology lasts. You know?
Right.
So, yeah, that's definitely why I love this industry.
Love that.
I'd say for myself, part of it is always going to be my heritage and background. My parents are from Tobago in the Caribbean, and I'm the first person in my family that's born in the United States. So for me, it's really about laying a foundation for my younger brothers and for the next generation. And like Nick said, it's about really making an impact for people. So when you have an ability that's just natural, intrinsic to you, to be able to tell stories and to convey things on a higher level that could potentially be transformative in the narrative form, I think it's important to always pursue that, because art and literature are the biggest things that matter, you know.
Right. So if there was a young boy or girl listening to the sound of both of your voices right now and they wanted to be in this industry, what would you tell them to hold on to would be like the most important piece to never forget?
You've got the power. You know, you've got it. We've got this. Definitely. Don't hesitate. If it's what you want to do, go out and do it. And don't be afraid to hear no. You're gonna get turned down. People are gonna tell you no. People are gonna discourage you from doing what you want. But if it's what you love and it's your passion, you have to live out your dream. You know, and you just gotta go do it. Yeah. Stay on it. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely say the same thing, to be honest. That's really the truth right there. And beyond that, embrace yourself. You know, the biggest part of control and the power, like he's saying, is just understanding who you are and your own value and being able to define and articulate your value. Because at that point, you can get out on the playing field, new things can come your way. You might have to, you know, if you're playing football for an analogy, you might have to hit a spin move or jump over a hurdle or do any other number of things. But at the end of the day, if you know your skill set, you know your goal, you know what you're doing, then at the end of the day, you'll always get there. Your only impediment can be yourself. So keep focused, always believe in yourself, and you'll get to where you're going no matter what. It's a matter of time.
Love it. Well, you guys heard it here first. I'm here with RDX Films. I'm so excited once again. April 14th, Acting in the Industry Seminar. Tickets are on sale now. Early bird is still going on? Or
they're still available, but they're going fast.
Okay, well, hurry up.
How long we're going to be able to keep that up.
Okay, now, in case, for whatever reason, they can't make it to DC, are we taking this on the road?
Yes, we will have additional events. We have several different topics that we're going to be pursuing: directing seminars, production and crew, and we'll also do separate locations outside of DC as well. So if you guys are interested in any of that, feel free to drop us a line. You can contact us through the website or on Instagram, and then, you know, just let us know what your interests are, because we will offer some of this stuff online as well.
Awesome. Well, y'all know what it is. This is Flo On the Go, Flo Essencee TV, and we are signing out.